Oh, no.
It's okay. We got a big enough show. Look.
We do have a big enough show. Okay, let me go open up the notes. Yeah, that's not professional.
No, it so is. It so is.
Looks like a Q-tip. Honestly, it's not that bad. It just looks like a 90s college frat boy movie. Like, honestly, and I like Brian, kind of douchebag. That's the character. If he was being typecasted for a movie, that's the movie.
I think it's precious.
Like Drop Dead Fred, that's the movie.
I think it's adorable. I like it. I like waves. I like curls. I don't know what it is.
All girls like curls.
I don't like my own curls.
I keep telling my son that. So my son is following my exact same life trajectory. Until I was 16, I hated my hair. Hated my hair completely, always. And I tell my son, I'm like, kid, you have no idea the blessing that you've been given. Girls love really curls. And he's like, I hate my hair. He wants to buzz it all off, too. He wants to cut it all off. I'm like, you can't. You don't understand. Girls love the curls. But he doesn't know yet. He doesn't even like girls yet, so.
So cute. Are we ready?
I'm going to have to get back into the swing of this. Yeah, I've got some notes written down. I want to pull my 3DS just in case. I'm sure I'm going to have 15 things I forgot about.
Okay.
Let me turn
I
this
have
up.
some CDs that I bought.
We don't have anybody in the chat. I hope we sound okay.
It's okay.
Is it? It's okay if we don't sound so good? It's okay. Kevin's not going to edit it anyway. He's just going to slap the intro on it and send it.
I told him that. He's like, you didn't give me timestamps. And I'm like, but...
We listened to it on the way back, and Melissa was like, do you normally release the show? It's like, no.
I told him...
It was so funny. You're like 15 minutes in, you're like, it was like OT. It was like, Kevin's going to edit it out. Kevin didn't listen.
I was like, as soon as it happened... God,
it was so funny.
I literally am listening back to it, and I just think I audibly was like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh, it was good. You post in Discord that we're live, please?
I did
already. Fantastic. Look at you.
You're slow.
You know what you're doing. Okay.
I should probably post the link.
That helps. That usually helps. I'm gonna eat this skill.
So tired. I had a 4-hour nap and I'm so tired.
All right, so because I didn't do them all and I haven't studied as much as you, I'll kick us off to news block and I'll throw it to you for the section. Does that work?
You'll what?
I'll kick us off. I'll do the news block and then I'll throw it to you for the big section.
Ooh.
Because I didn't write it all. So you know it better than me. You can summarize and paraphrase and all that.
My baby.
Makes sense. Very good. Hey Benji, what's up, man? Benji's in the chat.
Babe, I saw you were streaming. I saw you were streaming Monster Hunter. Send me your streams when you're going live.
You gotta sign up for notifications. You gotta hit the favorite thing, right? You have to heart Benji. Are you trying to tell me you don't heart Benji?
He's never streamed until like... Alright. Followed.
He's just testing things.
I don't care. I saw you were purple on Discord, and that means something.
Ooh. You done messed up, Benji.
You were live. That means you were live. Okay, deep breath.
Oh, bourbon was such a good choice.
I can't drink.
What are you going to do for OT tomorrow?
Is it tomorrow?
I mean, not OT, but DLC. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Are we doing it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Gotta drink.
No, I can't.
Surely it's early enough it's not going to harm the baby. I mean, I was like full on cocaine and everything. I came out fine. Like I was an incubator and whatnot, but totally fine. Like I lived.
Benji has no idea what's going on.
I'm sure you're fine. Fine, as if like you're dodging like a disease or something. I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure you don't have it.
Benji didn't hear anything, did he?
Okay. I got 11 minutes on our little stream intro. I don't have a pen to write that down.
It's okay, Benji. Don't you worry about it.
All right.
He didn't say anything.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. The day is July 25th, and tonight we record episode 91 of the Nintendo Shack podcast. It's all about remembering Nintendo's little 3DS. My name is Donnie, and I'm one of your hosts, and I'm joined this week, as I am most weeks, by my co-hostess with the mostest, Miss Caroline. Did you miss me?
Yes. He was not supposed to be on this week, but I was supposed to take the reins last night with Kevin, and then Kevin had something come up, and I couldn't find anybody last night, and Donnie's just like, I'm just going to be back. So
swooping in a week early to save the day. Bam. How do you like that?
Yeah, you were gone for too long.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like I wasn't going long enough. I got to go back to work soon. I'm like, geez. Ugh.
It's 2 weeks. You've been gone 2 weeks.
I could use another 2, for sure. But my vacation was fun. Drove everywhere, like 1,600 plus miles.
Yeah, I don't do road trips.
It was, long run. But yeah, super fun. Let's go ahead and thank our patrons that support us over there at patreon.com/PSVG. DLC, this month's DLC, records tomorrow. If you're not supporting us over there, if you haven't take a flyer. That's the thing. Remember, I told everybody, try it for $1. $1, just listen to one episode of DLC. If it's not for you, then cancel. But if you haven't listened to DLC, you don't know what you're missing. So thank you, Coach, and thanks for stepping in last week, Coach Hulk. Enjoyed the show.
Yeah, Coach was the bomb.
Thank you, Barry Cathcart. Thanks, Callow. Thanks, Josh Bonesaw, joining us on DLC tomorrow. I'm excited and happy about that. Thanks to Chris McElfresh, Devin, Kyle, Benji, Paul, Joel the Professor, Switch, Voss.
I don't have a haiku this week. I really apologize, but I have drafted a bang awesome show for you guys. I promise all of my heart and soul and writing went into notes this week.
And I should tell everyone, just to warn you up here, it's probably going to be a longer show. We don't know, obviously, because we haven't recorded it yet, but probably going to be a longer show. So strap in. This could be a good one.
They can already see the amount of hours long this is going to be when they're like just like looking at it. It's like, holy crap! How long?
I can't fit all this on my memory card. How much storage do you think my phone has? Caroline,
it's worth it.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing games.
Oh, wow. It's like you podcast for a living or whatnot.
I haven't been playing like anything for the past 2 months. So I was playing Stardew Valley for a little bit, and then last week, the Splatfest, the Splatocalypse hit. And I was like, I should just get into it. You know, I should at least send off the big festival thing that they do and just participate in the last one. So I joined Team Order. We lost. And I have been sucked back into Squid Game hard. My big thing is I'm just going to collect all gear. I beat Octo Expansion. I unlocked the Octolings. I'm going back into Octo Expansion to get all 10 lines finished to get the gear. I'm just, my goal is all gear, all weps, period. And I'm not going to try.
Is there any particular reason? It's just a spur of the moment type thing?
Collectors. Like, it's something that I did on Splatoon 1. And it's just something that I planned on doing. But when I missed a month of Grizzco and I missed that one item, I was like, well, there goes my shot. But now with Grizzco items, if you've missed a month, and now I've missed like 18 months of Grizzco items, right? You can get them randomly from a pink capsule from rewards for doing salmon run still. So it's possible. But that's the only way that you can.
Let me ask you a question. While I was gone, who won the Splatfest?
I just said that Team Order lost. I don't want to hear your lip right now.
But you didn't. What's the other team?
It starts with a C and ends in an os. What? You're giving me such crap. You didn't even participate.
We did play. I played a match. Jack played. Right. We played for 30. We kept getting booted up. We tried. We jumped on the hotel Wi-Fi, and it just kept knocking us off. Like after every match, I was like, I'm not doing this. No, thanks.
The popularity showed that Team Chaos was like 57% or so. It's something crazy, right? And it showed because we didn't have any issues pairing up against the other team, but I'm pretty sure Chaos played Chaos matches, just exclusively, pretty much probably the entire time. I thought that it was going to go through Sunday, but it only went from Thursday through Saturday, so I only got to play Saturday. But it was still fun. Like, it obviously had enough of an impact on me that I was like, man, there's so much stuff that I haven't been introduced to. There's all these new weapons. And
do they update it already with the mode with all the Splatfest and everything in there? Is that out yet? No?
Version 5 is coming out soon.
Okay.
But it's not out yet.
Super fun.
Yeah. That's just something that I'm going to be working on in the interim. I'm not obviously trying to do it in a night because
I mean that's
I'm going to be busy tomorrow.
That's what Squid Game is. It's just the everlong, evergreen game. You just play it.
I can't imagine those people that get to level 99 and then they go prestige mode and they do it all over again.
I expect a very popular topic to rise up in the next year is what we want for Splatoon 3. I expect a lot of people to start doing podcasts and things on that. And before all that happens, I don't think this will ever happen because Nintendo's going to Nintendo. Mm-hmm. What do you think about a Splatoon free-to-play game?
That's dangerous. It would sell gangbusters, but...
I think so, too. That's the reason I wanted to bring it up.
That's dangerous for me because that's one of those things where it's like...
What if they got rid of the grind and they just let you buy gear, buy weapons, but you play it for free? If they just Fortnite it. Seriously, like just Fortnite Splatoon... It makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense, but at the same time,
they could sell little DLC packs for like $20 for single player.
That's so anti-Nintendo, though.
Is it though?
It is.
Dragalia Lost making tons of money. Fire Emblem Heroes making tons of money. I don't think they're going to do it for Switch. I don't think they're going to.
No, but for a console, I don't think so.
I was thinking about it. Who wouldn't? And what if they did both? What if they did like, here's the $60 version, everything's unlocked, or here's a free-to-play version. You get to play Turf War for free. You get 3 weapons, and you just get to play it. I actually, like if it was just an evergreen demo, you could just play Turf War, you could have these 3 weapons, you could play it forever, or you could buy the game. Splatoon really seems to be maybe like the best fit for that. And I'm not saying that just because it's a shooter. It's like the whole grind and the loop that they do. That I
think it's the biggest multiplayer that they've got. I mean, Smash to an extent, but I don't play Smash for multiplayer online. I play Smash for local play, single player. I mean, I think it lends itself to it pretty well. It's just a matter of... It's like your Pokemon Quest thing. I would pay up front for all the content.
So would I.
Then spend hundreds of dollars.
But to help Splatoon go to the next level, you get more people playing it versus limiting the base to just those of us that are going to pay for it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Something to think about. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear everybody's thoughts because, like I said, I'm telling you, I don't think we're going to happen because we've got Luigi and everything that's coming out. But you give us to like next spring, and I think people are going to start wondering, wait a minute, what are they doing with Splatoon? And I could totally see like a season pass Splatoon thing. It's just always going on. I can totally see new gear, new maps, new stuff. And maybe they sell like some solo play, like Octo Expansion. They sell some of this stuff separately in smaller chunks. And it's not Splatoon 3, it's just Splatoon. And it just is. And it just keeps being them. Like, that makes sense.
Sure.
Anyway. As for what I've been playing, getting back on topic, I finally got all of the shrines in Breath of the Wild.
Congratulations.
That's what I said I was going to do on my vacation, and I did. I sat down, I pulled up my little sheet, and I went through region by region, and I cleaned them all up. I've done it. I've done everything but all the Korok seeds. I've done all of the things. I've done all the DLC. I've done the Master
You redid
Sword, all of it.
The Master Sword nonsense DLC? Done. Wow. I couldn't do that again.
On the second time, now I used a YouTube video, which I didn't the first time.
Oh, okay.
And using a YouTube video, really, when I was showing Jack, like we were sitting down, I was showing him how to do it. It really wasn't that hard in the second time.
Brutal.
You want to know how dumb I was in that game? When I was playing that for the first time with Jason, I entered that room where you enter on your glider and there are guardians and they start shooting at you. And I kept dying and I was like, I don't know how to do this. And Jason was like, shoot them in the eye. I was like, you can do that?
Oh my god, dude! The game had been out.
I
for
beat
how
Ganon.
long?
I beat Ganon without ever. When I was doing Guardians, I was like freezing them, and I used the shield and I used the sword. I had meleeed all of my Guardians to that point.
Oh my god, Donnie!
See, that's what I'm saying. So on the second time around,
It's Zelda.
it wasn't nearly that
Eyes
hard.
plus arrows equals.
I
death.
know. I said.
That's just the formula.
I said. Do you want to know how dumb I am? I'm admitting to my dumbness.
You're pretty dumb.
But I had a blast, like chopping them down. I'd chop their legs off. I'd freeze them. I'd hit them in the face. I'd run around in circles, and I'd chop the other legs off. Like I was having a blast doing that. So
The E3 2014
And I used the Guardian arrows.
trailer. The E3 2014 trailer where they showed us that like cinematic where Link's in the field and then he gets chased by a Guardian. He's shooting at the eye. What
Yep.
do you expect?
nope. Like I said, it's dumb, but that's what happened. And so anyway, yeah, I'm done. I think I'm done. I'm done with Breath of the Wild at least for a little while, but definitely done for a while. I did it, and it was a great option too for me on vacation. That was a good option because I didn't have to like learn or get invested into anything. I just kind of kept playing it because I already knew where everything was. It was fun.
Yeah.
I played Forgotten Anne,
Yes.
Maybe-
Forgotten Anne. You misspelled it, by the way.
maybe half of it. I don't know. I don't know how long the game is. I don't think it's super long. It's an indie game.
Is it a Caro game? Because I've been thinking about it ever since. I think who told us about it? Was it Daniel?
Daniel. It was Daniel. It's a mobile game that got ported over. I think we bought it for $20. So the thing about it is, I don't think it's a Caro game. It's a puzzle game.
Oh.
So the whole thing is you can kind of fly, not fly. You can like glide. You get like wings, and the whole
Yeah.
thing is you pull levers and hit switches and find things to manipulate the element, the environment, so you can jump from platform to platform to get to the next area. If there was a game that it's almost like it's Gree-esque, but it's more.
I got that.
There's more to it than Gree. Like the puzzles are a little more complex than Gree was. Gree's pretty on the nose, pretty easy.
I like the steampunk elements of it. Like it's very steampunk.
It's cool. The visuals are gorgeous. I don't really know how to explain what it looks like. It just looks like a cartoon in movement, like
It
like
does
an
kind
anime
of look,
or like a
yeah,
storybook.
it does kind of look like an anime. I don't know.
It's beautiful. That never gets old. It's super beautiful, but it's also it's not point and click, but you could like I bet that's how it works on mobile. It's kind of point and click. Like you go here, click the switch, do the thing. It's got some little mechanic where you fill these canisters with power, and then
Yeah.
you can drain them into your watch and use that to do other stuff. I don't know. It's okay. I don't think I'm going to finish it. I stopped playing it to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 when it came out. I did
that
play
game.
that game when it came out, and I played it with Lucas, and he and I had a blast going through a level. I think I'm about halfway through the game so far. I've leveled up my party. I have settled on a party, and I've leveled up my party to about, 18, 20, 22 across the board.
How hard did that go? 99?
I have no clue. I don't have a clue.
I'm just thinking it's like Warriors.
When you get to level 20, though, all of your so you get like these extra skills. You get 4 of them. All 4 of them are unlocked at level 20. I think that's across the board. So most of my characters have all 4 of their skills.
Okay,
So now
well,
I'm just kind of
mean-
powering them up,
Yeah, grinding it.
and
Cool.
it's super fun. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. It is exactly what it used to be. It's nothing new. I think that might be a little bit of a letdown for some people. But it looks real good. I like it, especially docked. Don't like playing it in handheld. It's just a little fuzzy. But undocked, it's crisp. It's shiny. It has nice like lighting elements. Like everything is like real shiny and metallic and
Yeah.
stuff. It's simple, but it looks like a comic book, and that fits. That's what you're doing.
Them getting Team Ninja was like a perfect fit for that style.
The characters largely kind of follow the characters that you know from or at least the ones, like I'm very much in tune with the characters from the movies, so like if you're not into the comics and stuff,
It's Crystal.
I have no idea. I still don't know who she is. She's thick though. All the girl characters, I mean, they do well with the girl characters. Thighs for days, Caroline. Thighs for days. But I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying the grind. I'm enjoying the button mashing, the beat 'em up. I've always loved games like this, and this is a lot of fun. If I could just be bring a little criticism to it, I wish the environments were a little more wide versus tunnel linear. Everything is very much straightforward.
I see.
Occasionally there's like a side path, and it really sucks in a game like this, especially when you can like say fly, because I'm playing obviously as Iron Man. When you can fly and you can like see across the courtyard,
Yeah.
but you can't fly over there because there's
Yeah,
like
you
an
can't get there.
invisible wall. That stuff sucks, and there's like a lot of that. Also, one of the things I don't like about the game now that I'm talking about it, the cutscenes in between chapters, I'm not sure if there's like a recommended party, but the cutscenes don't have my party members in. It's just like other people, which is fine because you could play as anybody.
That's kind of weird.
But it's super weird. You're sitting there like, so my party is I'm playing Iron Man, Crystal, Captain Marvel, and and Deadpool. And then like in the cutscene, it's like, here's Spider-Man and Miss Marvel. I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. Like, why are they in my cutscene? So
Because it's the ultimate alliance. It's not just 4 of you.
I mean, I know that, but it's like you're
I know what you
in the
mean. It's kind of
game. So like,
bizarre.
the one I just finished, right? I just did Avengers Tower. I'm talking to Vision. Iron Man is talking to Vision, and then Vision responds in a cutscene, and it's not me he's responding to. It's just these 4 people that aren't on my team at all. Like, it's not even me, Iron Man. It's just
That's weird.
That's weird, right? I was like, that's super weird. It just seems
You
like
figure that they would like just mod it to be
in
a
engine.
universal.
Like, I
Well, yeah,
understand maybe not every costume and things like that, but at least the same characters.
just be like a universal kind of, not referring to certain people
Yeah.
and certain things.
But
and
nope.
Just,
Nope.
That's weird.
It is super weird. So, and by the way, so Nolan North voices Deadpool, which is great, but he does all these like, yeah, like things, right? Mm-hmm. So there are moments where you just totally hear like Nathan Drake. But then there's this one specific one though, where he like kind of powers up. He's like, totally sounds like Goku. Like, totally sounds like Goku. To the point where I was like, has Nolan North ever voiced Goku before? Like, I can't stop hearing Goku in my ear. I'm like, I know that voice. That's the voice of Goku. And I haven't brought that up with the other people that are playing, and I'm kind of hoping that they either hear this or they bring it up, but I want to know if I'm the only person that's sitting there thinking, like, I'm hearing Goku. Like, I'm constantly hearing Goku.
he has not. Who did he play in Dragon Ball though?
I haven't.
Didn't he
Nolan
voice
North
somebody in
voiced somebody in
Dragon
Dragon Ball? I don't know.
I thought he did.
Anyway, I'm having fun. It's simple. It's a button masher. It's a beat 'em up. It's a loop grind. It has that thing that I don't like in games in general, is that there's like you collect a thing for everything. You know, so like your skills are powered up with coins that you unlock the skill tree, or you unlock like your power-ups, but then you collect orbs, but then you collect crystals, but then you like there's all of these different little currencies that you're constantly mixing and matching. It's like, just give me the one thing. They all unlock something. Can I just have money, collect money, or collect power?
Money.
Like I'm such like a simpleton. You know, it's like
you are.
I hate that. I'm like, why do I
You
have
would
to
hit
keep
it off with Mithra pretty well.
I have to keep track of coins and orbs and crystals and all this. How many crystals equal an orb? And I hate that. But I honestly don't feel like I've had to really figure it out. I just keep pressing. It's kind of like Warriors. Keep pressing the button, unlock the things, keep playing.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I played was Oninaki. I played the demo.
I gotta download the demo. Don't spoil too much.
It's super good.
I know.
It's not long. I think I timed out in like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Especially if you don't spend too much time like just kind of walking around. There's like an environment you can walk around in, but there's not like a whole lot there.
It
You can
looks
get like some coins
beautiful.
and stuff. It is gorgeous. I gotta give you that. It's super pretty. Much more so than Setsuna and the other one. And Setsuna was a good looking game, but this is better. The cool thing that this one has is it's got a light and a dark world. The whole premise of the game is you're kind of like, not in like a super dark way, but you're kind of like the Grim Reaper. You and your demon girl that follows you around.
I can get that, yeah.
You help souls that are trapped find their way to the next realm. And it kind of does that thing that I think we've seen a lot of games and indie games do, where you clear the area in the light world, then you flip over the dark world. Oh man, there's more bad guys, and maybe there's like a bridge over here that you can't use in the light world, and vice versa. So you got to flip back and forth, and that changes the entire art style and everything, which is cool. And then it plays.
Bleach meets Twilight Princess.
This game is like Xenoblade had a baby with Diablo. It's an action it's an action-based combat game like Diablo, top down, you hack and slash, but you totally have like this daemon, this spirit that follows you around.
It's demon. Like, AE is a demon. Yeah,
with your blade, and she has her own attacks that you can, she has special attacks you can call at a moment's notice, and that's it. And you just do that and you play that, and it looks super fun. You get different demons and different stuff, and you can like level them up and mix and match your party and call them when you want to, and all different stuff. And I think with all of the Tokyo RPG games that we've seen, is I feel like they're all overpriced. Like they're really doing like a premium on these games. I think in like today's market, for like top down, artsy RPG game,
$40.
They're $45, and it's $44.99 for this game. Which just, like, I don't want to, like, I would still get it, but it's like, I have a lot I want it to play, so I'm happy to wait for a cheaper price, I think is the best way to say it.
I don't think I'll get it first off either, and you told me that there's probably not going to be a physical in the West, which sucks.
Maybe if it sells real well, maybe they do something, or maybe,
Yeah, but they said the same thing about Okami.
Yeah.
And that never happened. Japan got it, and we didn't.
Did Setsuna get a physical?
I think it was physical right out the gate.
Okay. Maybe a limited run or something does. I definitely left the demo going, this is way better than those. Like, this is a step up. I like this. This is good. Like, the lore's good. The characters are good. Like, this is cool. Okay. But at the same time, I think I'll wait on it. There's a lot to play for me to be spending $45 on a game. To be quite honest, I'm probably not going to finish it. Didn't finish Xenoblade, so there's no point in rushing out to play a game I'm probably not going to beat.
Bless your heart.
So that does it for me and what I've been playing. So let's move the show along. Let's get into the news block. Caroline, all of the rage that was going on in our Discord and all the podcasts last week while I was on vacation was about this class action lawsuit that's being levied against Nintendo for their Joy-Con controllers and the drift. This all comes after the Kotaku article that called them out on it. Was it Kotaku or Polygon?
I don't remember who called them out.
One of them. One of those two did a big, long article about it being an issue, which is, that's a good thing. When a company has an issue like this, it's good that they cover it. You bring the news, you bring objectivity, because all we saw after that was the floodgates of people posting videos, YouTube videos, Twitter videos, GIFs of their Joy-Cons drifting. I saw a great GIF of the Joy-Con drifting at Best Buy. Did you see that one?
Oh no, I saw that too. It says even the Joy-Cons like at Best Buy.
It's just constantly scrolling through the demos. So it's good that people are bringing, and so like they got together and they're going to do this class action lawsuit. And we've seen these things get time and time again. It's always going to happen. I don't know if much will come from it.
But you have to follow up with what was followed up on.
Yeah. So Nintendo, not a response, but has somewhat changed their tune. So before all of this happened, and specifically this lawsuit was levied against them, you could get your Joy-Cons repaired. You could call Nintendo. If they were in warranty, they would repair them. You have a 1-year warranty. Or you could pay to have them repaired, and a lot of people did. Shortly after all of this news broke and all of this buzz came out, an internal memo went around Nintendo that got leaked. Looks like now they will repair your Joy-Cons for free. They will not charge you. If they already charged you, they'll refund you. So if you've paid them to fix your Joy-Cons, call them immediately and say you want your money back. They're taking all Joy-Cons right now, apparently. It's an open floodgate. I keep seeing a spawn wave.
In America. Not in Europe and not in Japan so far.
Yep.
That's just because Americans complain enough and they get what they want.
People are sending in 6-7 Joy-Cons at a time.
I know.
They're just, why wouldn't you? If they're going to do it, just, even if yours isn't broke, get new sticks. Send them in. That's what I told Jason and Kevin. Get new sticks.
I might have to.
Send them in anyway.
I have 6 pairs of Joy-Cons.
I'm really, I don't know if I'm just lucky. I don't have an issue. My Joy-Cons are fine.
3 of my lefts do.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I've had 4 or 5 pairs of Joy-Cons, and I've never had a drift issue.
I don't think you keep a pair long enough to
Maybe
have
that's
it go bad.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
I was talking to Brian about this, though, because he being Mr. Lawyer and everything, he can't give legal advice, so I'm just putting that out there, Brian, if you're listening right now. He can't give legal advice, but he says by Nintendo doing this, they've basically just mooted the entire class action claim. That, now people can't ask for damages or anything because they're basically giving it to you for free.
It. We fixed it. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We fixed this. We put this in place. And screw your lawsuit.
Yeah.
That's smart business.
Dismissal with prejudice. Go ahead.
There you go. And the other thing about my Joy-Cons is I don't really play with them often. I don't play, as we've covered plenty of times, I primarily play docked, and I primarily play with a pro controller. Yep.
Yeah.
I play with a pro controller whenever possible. Even when I went on vacation, most of the time was me staring at my Switch, holding a pro controller.
But I should mention, I got the Satisfy grip, and boy, does it feel
so
amazing.
It's so good.
My gosh, like the rubber on the back is just like,
it's so good.
It feels so good. So I've been playing Splatoon handheld quite a bit this past week, just because I got that, and it's really, really nice. Like, I highly recommend anybody that's looking for it. They have like a 40% off coupon at all times, so I ended up getting mine for $30.
Yep.
Good stuff.
I think I just completely lost my train of thought.
I don't know. We were talking about the
37
we were talking
minutes.
about the Nintendo thing. Oh, you're gonna make a note, Kevin.
Yeah, I got to edit the show. Like, you know, like Nintendo Shack is typically edited. That's a thing that we do. I completely forgot what I was going to say. I know what we're talking about. We're talking about Joy-Cons and drifting and all that, and the grip and all. Okay. Grip. I remember exactly what I was going to say. I think the most important thing that a lot of people are going to want to know is, do we expect the stick drift to stay with the Switch Lite? Because I bet it's going to be the exact same. This is going to be the exact same joystick.
I don't think so. I think that what they've got with the Joy-Cons is an inherent design in these portable Joy-Cons that have all the HD features in them and stuff. And I think without all of that HD nonsense, the design on the insides is going to be a little bit different on that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's too late in the game and what they've already started producing.
That's what I think. I think it's too late in the game. I think if there was one, I think we'd know about it by now. But you might be right. Maybe this is something they've been working on. And if not, maybe they're looking to see if there's something they can do now before it gets too out of hand. Because
you know what? Now that I think about this,
the issue is with the stick component. I
know. It makes sense that these Joy-Cons that we see these color bundles coming out with, I couldn't find blue past. They started selling out of blue like maybe after 2017. I wasn't able to find it in stores ever since then. Maybe they've just been letting them phase out, and these new ones that they're coming out with are improved.
Or they have better quality build or something.
Right.
That would be the hope. That's the hope that everybody has. And I mean, as somebody buying a Switch Lite, I'm hoping I will be tuning in to anybody that cracks one of them open to tell me. And you know that's coming. When these things launch, the week before, somebody's going to have this thing sawed open in half, talking about if it's a different stick or not, because it's going to be a hot topic thing.
It's $200, and you're just spending that money to open it, to look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Drives me crazy.
So anyway, if you've got sticks and they drift, send them in. I suggest you send them in one at a time, so you're never without them.
Well, I have 6 pairs and 2 Pro controllers, so I think I'm okay.
Send 3 pair in, wait till they get those back, send in the other 3.
Yeah.
I almost want to send in my Pokemon ones just to get new sticks, just in case. Like, there's nothing wrong with them, but I'm like, those are special Joy-Cons.
Great, yeah.
But
I would do it. I would do it.
You saw my white pair that I have the D-pad. Mm-hmm. So Jack dropped that one and broke my stick, if you remember a while back. It worked, but it didn't click in. I paid a guy on eBay $17 to swap the stick for me, and I shipped it to him and shipped it back. So it's not that big of a... It's really not that...
Nintendo's going to do it for free.
Yeah, of course.
But there is also, like, we should probably talk about the short-term problem. If you just don't want to do it, they have electric contact spray.
Which I have.
Yeah, I need to buy some because you linked me that, and I didn't realize that WD-40 made any.
Now, and I don't know this to be 100% true, but I've seen 3 or 4 videos that all basically say the same thing. The one I recommended and posted in our Discord is the one from SpawnWave. The issue seems to be the material that the stick is made with. Over time, as you use it, it starts to like create debris,
dust,
like pieces
and stuff. Yes,
and that dust gets picked up on the sensor, and that is what's drifting. The stick is not broken. So if you spray this contact, you don't even have to take the Joy-Con apart. If you just lift up the Joy-Con and spray this electronic contact cleaner in there and just move the stick around, it will clean it. And that has been verified on Twitter. If you search that on Twitter, tens of thousands of people have said, "Oh, this fixed it right up."
Immediately. Yeah.
So
That's what I need to do. I mean, it's one thing to fix the stick, but I don't think any of my sticks are broken. I think there's just dust in there.
So my biggest
all it is.
concern with that, I haven't seen this, but is there any like damage for prolonged use of that? Like if you're spraying that in there, 4 years from now, do your Joy-Cons work? Or are they just broke? Like, is there any like lingering effects? I mean, it shouldn't be because that's what it's.
No.
But that's the part that scares me a little. So
I mean, I WD-40 like almost everything, around here, doorknobs, door hinges,
Sure.
and stuff, and I don't ever see like corrosion or anything.
I think that's what it's made to do. But I would, if anybody out there is going to do it, I've done it once just because. Just be careful. Like, less is more.
Overkill it.
Less is more. Don't like shove.
Half the bottle in it.
Don't hold it down. Don't count to 10. Like, don't do that.
It's like air spray for your computer. You just go.
I do feel bad, or not bad. I feel, I don't know, like disingenuous or something. Because, I mean, it's obviously a problem. Lots and lots of people, even in our own Discord, which is just a small sample, half the people are like, "Oh yeah, my Joy-Cons totally don't work."
But you just haven't experienced it. Don't be like those some people on Twitter that's like, clearly this is just an issue of people not taking care of their technology.
Right. No, I'm not taking that. I had one issue when I was playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 where I kept like leaning the stick forward to run and my character would just walk and I had to like press it hard. And I was like, is this the issue? Like, is this not picking up? And you know what I did? I recalibrated my sticks and it was fine. I just went into the little recalibration menu and I did a little circle test.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I've had to do that.
Yeah.
I find, like, especially when I'm using it with my PC, I have to recalibrate a lot more often, and I don't know if that throws off Switch stuff.
Maybe.
No.
Huh. Anyway. Caroline, Fire Emblem 3 Houses review embargo lifted today. And boy, is this a good video game. It's getting really, really good reviews across the board.
I know. I couldn't handle it.
Are you getting excited?
I've been excited. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, you were just like spamming all of this as soon as 10 o'clock hit this morning. I was like, I can't handle this.
I got to read all the reviews.
I just can't handle it. Yeah, I'm already not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm going to have to take a sleeping pill in order to like knock me out or something. So
what time does Best Buy open in the morning?
10 o'clock.
Okay.
So as of right now, it is almost 8 p.m. on the East Coast, so we've got a little over 14 hours. I have to spend a little bit of time in Best Buy because I bought an RCA to HDMI adapter, but it's the wrong way. It's HDMI input, RCA output instead of vice versa.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Yeah, well...
Who's going the other way?
I bought it because it was $40 and it open box, and then the other one is just $49.99. I was like, oh yeah, that's the one I need. It's the same picture on Best Buy, so I have to trade that out tomorrow and pick up my stuff. But 14 hours. I'm streaming all day tomorrow.
Ooh,
all day on Friday.
Caro stream.
So, yeah, I am off Friday, and we're.
I hope to keep up with you. I'm going to play all day tomorrow. I'm not going to stream though. I don't like streaming.
Okay.
But I'm definitely going to play. Just to be fair, it's not like Breath of the Wild reviews or anything like that. I think it's sitting in the high 80s, but there are a lot of really good review sites that are giving it 9.5s, 9.2s, 9s, 8.5s. I've heard a lot of really nice things about it, talking about it. I've seen favorite best Fire Emblem ever. That's super high praise.
That is really high praise.
That's super. Like, if anybody has played and beaten a Fire Emblem game, you're like, whoa, wait a second. What did you just say? Things like that.
It's exciting.
Innovative, streamlined, I've been seeing. Things like that. So I'm very, very excited to jump in and see what all the fuss is about. And this is the part of the review process. I get why they do it. It helps sales, right? There is a part of me that always thinks with a game like this, I felt the same way with Xenoblade. You have such a big game. I hate that, like, we're going to get it tomorrow and all of the podcasters and journalists have already beat it.
I know. Okay, stop.
I hate
that.
I hate that part of it. Like, they're all done.
Well, that's what already bothers me, because they're like, I've never spent 60 hours in a game before, but I want to play it again. And we really need to get, like, good so we can get Nintendo stuff. Can we please just, like,
I feel like
get good?
It's different, like, when the game's, like, a 10 or 20-hour campaign. Like, you're going to do that, you're going to stay caught up. I feel like with Fire Emblem, I'm going to beat it a month from now, and nobody's going to talk about it.
Well, I will.
Because they've already beaten it. They beat it yesterday.
I'm going to be playing this game at least until Link's Awakening, to the point that I said in Discord today, I might cancel my Astral Chain pre-order because I don't think I'm going to be done with Fire Emblem by August 30th.
I don't think I'm going to be done with it by then either. And
Like, I
you're going to
need
go
a full 2
multiple
months.
campaigns.
Oh,
I'm just doing the one.
I'm gonna be going 200 plus hours like I did with Xenoblade, easy. And then we're gonna get DLC, and it's just gonna be a never ending. Like, this is my next Xenoblade JRPG.
The thing that got real exciting was in some of the reviews I posted earlier, specifically the one I tagged you in, is GameSpot was like, I can't wait to play it the other way. Apparently, the decisions and everything really changed the story, which is I did not have that expectation.
It did that a little bit in Fates, and that's why I did play all 3 lines in Fates. I did all, and there's some stuff, if you don't have a high support with somebody, they die.
Yeah.
And that's something that I like to read up in advance, so I'm hoping that I don't mess up and that I do like my due diligence and research online, to be sure.
I
don't
like
want to
that.
waste my time.
I do like that because this time I'm going to try a romance option just for you. I'm going to try it, and if those guides and things weren't there for me, I wouldn't give up. I don't want to play the game for 20 hours and realize I made a mistake 10 hours ago.
I just can't wait to hear the sound effects, bloop bloop bloop, like the selection noises, and see the sprites.
It's going to be good.
Such classic Fire Emblem. I'm sorry.
Tomorrow.
I'm just thinking.
It's going to be good.
Yes, I'm excited.
Moving on, Super Mega Baseball 2 is out right now. It's $30. I was 100% going to buy this game, and then a game went on sale today on Xbox, and I bought it instead. But I'm going to be getting Super Mega Baseball 2 soon, eventually.
Clay?
More exciting, Imran Khan from Game Informer on their podcast asked a question. This came by from Super Nintendo Chris Becker.
Yep.
They asked them, like Wii U ports, and they said that Wii U ports were in the works. Specifically mentioned Nintendo Land, Star Fox Zero.
Why?
Game & Wario.
That's a good one.
The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. NES Remix 1 and 2.
Good.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Sharp FE. Paper Mario Color Splash. And The Wonderful 101.
Some of those I really raised my eyebrows at, and other ones I'm like, it should have already been out. We need a Wind Waker HD. We need a Twilight Princess HD. And
We've been talking about that since the system launched.
Yeah, I know. Wonderful 101 is interesting. I don't think Color Splash made enough of a splash, pun intended, to warrant a new one, but I get that there's some Paper Mario fans. Tokyo Mirage, I'm feeling the same way. Nintendo Land, I heard was good. You said you liked Nintendo Land?
Oh. I adore and love Nintendo Land.
All right, so I bought it bargain bin for $5, and I haven't played it yet.
Ever?
No, I own it on my shelf.
Oh my god, we've got to drink and play Nintendo Land together. That has to happen. I love Nintendo Land.
Okay, I own it though.
Honestly, it rivals local multiplayer GoldenEye 007 nights.
Really?
Nintendo Land is one of my favorite local multiplayer games I've ever played. It's amazing. Cool. So I got a lot of things I want to say about this, but let's start there. Nintendo Land. I don't know how you do Nintendo Land on Switch. I don't think it's going to resemble the Nintendo Land that we know. I think it had to be different because there's no second screen.
Yeah, I was about to say there's probably a lot of gamepad functionality.
Everything in Nintendo Land was
Zero
that.
Especially. Oh, okay.
But in Nintendo Land, all of the great games except for the Donkey Kong game, which is awesome, needs a second screen. The Luigi's Mansion needs a second. Mario Chase needs a second screen. The Metroid game, Link, the Triforce Kids game, all of those need motion controllers and a second screen. So if they're doing a Nintendo Land for Switch, I don't think it's a port. I think it's a new Nintendo Land. It's just a new Nintendo Land, and it's built
they might
around
be using some of the same stages from the original.
It's more like Mario Party Nintendo Land. It's not the Nintendo Land from Wii U. I don't see how you could do it unless you incorporate phones or something. Maybe they go, well, the Jackbox Party Pack lets you play with a phone.
Oh, yeah, I got you. That's a good idea.
So I was thinking something like that, maybe, but it's not going to stream video, like the Wii U gamepad does. So you can't do that. Maybe if you had multiple Switches, maybe you can do it. I would do that. If I could, because in Mario Party you can do that. There are some games that are exclusive to 2 Switches. If I could play one game on the Switch dock to the TV and then use the Switch Lite as the gamepad,
Right.
I would play. Oh, I'd be so happy. I would do that. But that's such a limited use case.
Sure.
Like, why would they build that? That doesn't make any sense for them. You know, like how many people are actually going to do that? Like me.
No.
Like one. Like one person.
Anybody who owns the regular Switch and the Switch Lite, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I actually really, really do love Nintendo Land, and I hated it when it was shown on stage. I know what everybody, like when they did the Wii
I
U,
remember that.
had
I
that
remember
stupid
that.
carnival with the fireworks. I realized how dumb that looked. But when
Yeah.
I played Nintendo Land the day I brought my Wii U home, I mean, I played Nintendo Land before we left vacation. I played it like just like a week and a
Just
half
recently?
ago. Yeah, we
Aw.
played Nintendo Land often. Still,
Okay.
to this
Yeah,
day,
I-
we still play Nintendo Land.
I bought it. It was $4.99 at
We
GameStop.
played it while we were on vacation. Don't you remember?
How did you bring your Wii U?
No, remember I gave my old Wii U to my in-laws and we stayed
That's
with
right.
them and they had it downstairs. I was watching them play Wii Music and I was like, this is terrible. Play Nintendo Land. And what I realized was
Your
they
kids.
had played Nintendo Land, but they hadn't played. And
Played
nobody had shown them, here's how all of the games work.
Yeah.
We had a blast. We played Nintendo Land for like 2 hours.
Aw.
So anyway, this game will go on forever if I keep talking about Nintendo
I love
Land.
how you just had that realization. It's like, we
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like,
vacation.
wait a minute, I just played this game. So yeah, I love Nintendo Land, and I've always hoped that they find something to do with it because it actually was a property, kind of like Wii Sports Resort and things like that, that I think has value if they can figure it
Yeah.
out. Star Fox Zero is an interesting one. A lot of effort went into that game.
It did, but it was terrible. And
It is a bad game.
you
Outside
have
of
to
that
have-
first level.
you have to have gamepad functionality because it was all centered around moving around while you're
So,
in the cockpit.
With Switch, you could still do gyro. You could have gyro controls, but obviously that second screen element would have to be taken
Right.
out.
Completely.
And maybe that makes the game better because the thing that Star Fox Zero wasn't awful when you were doing the Star Fox flight missions. It was when you got out of that and you started doing the copter and the walker and like that's when I was like, this is awful, it's boring, it's not fun, it doesn't control well. When you were flying the plane on rails and shooting people, which is what Star Fox should always be.
Absolutely.
It's a shooter. You
Yeah.
shoot stuff because shooting stuff is fun. That's the game it should
Yeah.
be. So if they want to overhaul it, I'd be all for it. If they literally came out with a Star Fox Zero port, I have zero interest. How do you sell that? Like it sells
I
right
wait
now
till,
for
like-
$5 and they can't sell it. They still can't sell it.
I bought it. I did buy it recently. I bought the Wii U version, bundled, perfect, pristine plastic wrap
Yep.
with guard
little
for
box.
$10.
Yep.
$10. I mean, like there's hundreds of these things sitting on eBay, just where they were sitting in. There, literally, I saw the picture from the one that I bought it from. They're in the factory shipped boxes. Just
I think
can't
you'd
sell 'em.
have to. They would have to make a concentrated effort to let you know that it's different and it's better, or it's never going to move. Because if it's the same thing, what?
when that game came out, 2015.
It sounds right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was E3 2015. That was their puppet stuff.
Okay, so I love NES Remix. I'll buy all of that. I've always wanted a SNES Remix. I don't understand why they don't just do that, but yeah.
It
That's
just makes it's weird because you've got the Nintendo Switch Online NES thing. So why would you do
Sure.
the remix stuff on top of
I've
that?
also wondered why like Amiibo Tap never made its way over to Switch too. I'm interested in whatever they want to do with that kind of thing.
That was the eShop only one, right?
Yeah, yeah. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I mean, I get it. Somebody put a lot of work into that. It is a big game. There probably is a market.
Still need to buy it.
RPGs are selling well. I mean, my biggest issue with is all of these games I have on my Wii U. Am I going to buy them again? I'll always buy Wind Waker. Outside of that, I'm probably not going to buy any of these games again. You know, Paper Mario Color Splash is an interesting one because what you said is
Yes.
interesting because it came so late
It did.
that I think
Like
they're-
2016.
that's the reason to bring it over. But if they were bringing this
Probably.
over, I would have brought it over by now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why
but
is
maybe
it
they
taking
just,
this long?
I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to, because they're kind of it's been like about 3 to 4 years between Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was early Wii U, and we didn't get it until
It's true.
last
Yeah.
year.
Maybe they're just holding them on and sprinkling them in. I mean, I didn't like Color
Mario
Splash.
Bros. Wii U.
I think it's a gorgeous game. It's beautiful, but I don't like playing it.
Own it. Haven't played it.
It's not super fun. That's my opinion. Kevin loves it or likes it. So, I mean, I didn't like playing it, which brings me to the last one on this list that I actually do want to talk about because this has been rumored for a while. Platinum is.
I know it has.
Yeah, they've put it in their little art and their fan art and all their logos. The Wonderful 101. I don't understand why this game won't die. I don't like this game. I think as time has gone on, I like it less. I don't understand why so many people like it because I owned a Wii U. I played this at a preview event. I was there the day I bought it, the day it came out. I remember the review cycle. I remember the podcast. Nobody liked it when it came out. When I was playing it, nobody was talking about how great of a game it was. But now that the Wii U's dead, people are like, you know what game would be great? The Wonderful 101 is like, nobody said that when it came out. There was nobody like, this game's amazing. That didn't happen.
It's a game that I want to play just to see for myself if it's good or not, but I haven't played it
The
yet.
thing with the Wonderful 101 is if it was like a button masher brawler where you could use the little heroes and just like beat your way through the game, I actually think it would have been a lot of fun. It was those gesture-based drawing controls that you had to do that were terrible. And even when they implemented the stick, that didn't make it any better because you're like, draw a circle with a stick, draw a sword with a stick. And like, it was never good. It wasn't like right.
Curious as to think what you think about Okami then, because that's all drawing.
Okami's weird. It's a better game, but I also have never really liked the. I'd rather play. Okami does a better job on the sticks. The stick version of Wonderful 101 was not good. If I could map the Jello attack, the gun, the sword attack, if I could just map those to buttons and just button my way through it, I would actually like it because it is a pretty game. It looked good, it had a fun story, had fun action, it was a cool thing. But the controls really threw me out of that entire game, and I don't think that's a Donnie thing. I know that there are Donnie things. I don't think that's it. Because like I said, I was there day one. There were a lot of people saying the same thing, and it's like a weird thing as this game gets older, people seem to, I don't know, they've got these rose-colored glasses. They're like, man, that game was great. I'm like, really?
It's like Majora's Mask.
Zombie U was way better than that game. Way better.
Do you realize how many $2.99 copies of Zombie U are at GameStop?
I'm just saying, Zombie U is way better than Wonderful 101. Like, way better. Not even close in my mind. So maybe it is a Donnie thing. Maybe I'm just way out here and I have a game that I just don't like. But if they redid it, I would be all for it. You know, if they let me button mash it, I would be for Wonderful 101 again. All right, the Darksiders Genesis game that we had talked about a while ago got collector's editions. Did we ever fill those SKUs that we were trying to fill before E3?
No, we didn't. You suspected that it was the 121. It is 120 in it.
So they came out with a 120 collector's edition bundle. It comes with a statue, a steelbook, an art book, and a soundtrack. More interesting is they come out with a $380 version. That's how much consoles cost. That's
insane to me. $5,000 total for a board game and an art book.
No. No, I'm sorry. It's $380.
I know, but there's 5,000 limited editions.
There's 5,000 editions. That's how many they're making. So it's a super limited. You get 5,000. That's it. And board game collectors, you know how they are. Like, that's a limited edition board game. So that's the thing. You get the statue, you get the steelbook, you get the art book, you get the stickers, you get all the stuff, and you get a limited Darksiders Genesis board game that comes with figurines. There's like 60 miniatures
I saw
and tiles and all kinds of stuff. Great. It looks awesome. It does.
Are Kyle and Josh getting this?
When I posted it, Josh asked me for a link. So I don't know.
And
I don't
call
think
me
so.
bad with my figures and my doodads and my game room. And I don't know. If I were into board games, I'd be all over it.
So I remember the reason I put it in here was, one, to say I told you so, but two, I remember when we were talking about this and we had like those weird crazy SKU prices, and I said, dude, THQ Darksiders, they have crazy collector's edition. They always do stuff like this. They make chainsaw, like they do weird stuff. So that's coming out. So if you're interested, I can't wait to play that game. I'm very excited.
It's not a Kara game, but I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are getting some stuff.
Caroline, today's episode is titled A 3DS Finger Salute.
Do you like that? I did that.
I do like that. It's nice. A nice little play on words. So this is something that we've talked about doing for a while. we wanted to follow up our Wii U Remember Me episode with a little episode to remember that 3DS. The issue was, about 2 months ago, everybody did it. It was like weird. It was like right before E3, like Game Explain did one, Easy Allies did one. I was like, so I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to wait. Let's wait for some time. And we had the plan to let you and Kevin do it. I was like, let's let them do it while I'm gone. It's an easy show filler. We've already done a show, by the way. We're like an hour already.
I felt really bad. Because I was like, this is like, Donnie has had how many 3DSs, over his lifetime? And I really did want Kevin in on this. Yeah, we are going to answer that question. That's the question I wanted to know. But this is what I had drummed up in the interim while Donnie was going to be gone. We kind of had a slow news week, even though you and I just talked about news and stuff for an hour. That's our long-winded crap. So I'm going to start out with some facts about the 3DS. Are we ready? Ready? All right. This is the Arcadia Academia version. Caro schooling everybody about the 3DS. It was announced by Nintendo on March 2010 and officially unveiled at E3 in 2010 on June 15th. Nintendo's first 3D endeavor since it flopped the Virtual Boy back in 1995, if you guys remember that. It was released in Japan on February 26th, 2011, and worldwide beginning in late March 2011 for Europe, Australia, and North America. And it spent 8 years on the market as a gaming system, which is, I think, the longest that we've probably ever, maybe since the Nintendo Entertainment System.
It's still going.
It's still technically going,
it's still going.
So, but it's been going from 2011 to 2019. It's not officially dead yet, but I don't believe that they are making any more.
She did.
Mm-hmm. Featured backwards compatibility with DS games, not Game Boy games anymore. Like with the DS, we had the GBA thing, so I think you could put, all of your Game Boy games and the Game Boy Advance cartridges in there. But this was officially just for DS and 3DS games. It offered us features such as Street Pass and Spot Pass, which I still miss to this day. Miiverse, rest in peace. Augmented reality, Virtual Console, an internet browser, plus things like Netflix, Hulu Plus, and YouTube for streaming video services. By the way, did you see that Amazon Prime's video streaming thing is going away from Wii U now?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Okay. It was originally priced for $249.99. Less than 6 months after launch, it was dropped to $169.99 on August 12th of 2011. Nintendo launched the 3DS Ambassador program for players who bought the 3DS for its original price. Were you an ambassador?
Nope.
No, you didn't buy it for $49.99. So I didn't either.
I had to look up some things because I wanted to write down some notes so we can talk about. Do you want to get through your little launch spiel before we talk about?
I'll get through my launch spiel. Yeah. So the Ambassador program is basically, in order to become an ambassador, you had to log onto the eShop before August 12th and then update your console. It offered 10 NES games to you for early adopters and 10 Game Boy games from the Game Boy Advance, starting on December 16th, 2011, for a total of 20 free games. In addition to the 20 games, ambassadors were able to download a special ambassador certificate, which gave you a notifications feature that allowed you to receive special notifications exclusive to the ambassadors group. So, I don't know anybody that played or bought this like right out the gate. It's like, I'm going to pay $250 for a handheld.
Kirby.
I didn't buy it until 2012. Did Kirby really?
I think so. I know it was either Kirby or Rob, but one of them had a 3DS and they showed me the Ambassadors game. So that's how that's really all the only time I've ever seen them.
Kirby would. I remember when they got the second shipment of Majora's Mask limited editions. I got the last one, and Kirby's like, if you hadn't have gotten it, I was going to buy it today. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. Anyway, we'll talk about those models now. Other models. We've had lots and lots of models. A larger model came to town in 2012 called the 3DS XL. In 2013, the new 2DS was announced, which lacked the 3D. It was a much lower price point.
Hang on. We're jumping too far. When did you get your 3DS?
What?
We're jumping too far. It's too far ahead. We're like covering. We're covering.
Okay, fine.
We're just blitzing through years of 3DS in like seconds. When did you
wanted me to get through everything?
I know. Then. When did you get your 3DS?
Aqua Blue, late 2012.
The Aqua Blue regular one?
Yes, late 2012. I still have it.
All right. My first 3DS was the 3DS XL, the red one. The red and black one.
Yep.
I remember when they unveiled the 3DS at E3.
Yep.
That was the year that they showed Skyward Sword and like Kirby for the Wii. So this was a weird period for me, and like just in my gaming and just in life in general. This is like divorce time. This was me going to college time.
Yeah.
But also this was me like super devout Wii fan. And excuse me. The thing that I remember about this time, and the reason that I was late to the 3DS, was Nintendo hit huge on DS and Wii. With games like Nintendogs and Wii Sports and Brain Age. And I hated that. And it was like hard to tell Nintendo that what they were doing was wrong. Because they were selling gangbusters. The Wii and the DS sold huge. So they kept doing it. Wii Party and Wii Music and all, it just kept going on. And as like I hate the term hardcore, but as like a fanatic, a Nintendo fanatic, I wanted Nintendo games, right? And like they were still doing it, especially on Wii. Still got Metroid, like Other M, Skyward Sword, which we waited for forever, but like it came, right? Like they were still getting out there. We were getting Kirby's Epic Yarn. Then the 3DS comes. Now, I did go back and watch this today because I wanted to confirm what I thought. I hated the 3DS when it was announced. I hated it because it was a dumpster fire. Let me just start with the OG original model with that glary plastic, that cheap look, that awful game lineup where they had like Bust a Move and Madden.
Oh, okay, that was really bad.
And there were things like Dinosaur 3D, Nintendogs, like everything was...
Steel Diver, I think.
Steel Diver! Yes! Ridge Racer.
Yeah.
People made fun of the Wii U's lineup. What a garbage fest the 3DS launched with. Just awful. Just
Steel Diver.
It was everything that I hated about like Nintendo at the time. They were super casual, and it just kind of felt like they'd throw anything on it, right? It was all about the gimmick. It's all about motion. It was all about touchscreen, and this was the new gimmick. 3D without the glasses, right? They couldn't escape it. They just kept talking about, we have 3D without the glasses.
Yeah.
Which, just to cover this now, the first time I ever saw it was impressive. I was like, that is cool. They're not lying. It is 3D without the... Too bad these games suck, but yeah, like, like it is 3D without the glasses. And this was at a time where, like, I was super into IGN at the time, so it was like way into NVC at this time. This is like prime, like Rich George, Audrey Drake, like NVC, right?
Yeah, dork.
This is Colin and Greg. I'm listening to, like, we're talking about things like the PSP, which had been going forever, like HD games, right? And Metal Gear and all this stuff. And then like the Vita was announced like right there in that same like window as the 3DS. And the Vita blew the 3DS out of the water at face value. Like, they have Uncharted running in HD
on a baby. Yeah.
On a handheld, and we have Steel Diver. Oh, God. Now, I should have prefaced all of this by saying the 3DS was my first handheld. I never had one.
I forgot about that.
We've talked about this numerous times. I never had a Game Boy. I always played my aunts, and I played Friends, and I never had a GBA or a G. Like, to me, portable gaming was always not as good. It was always
I agree with that. Like, I felt that way growing up too.
Yeah, it just wasn't as good. It's not that it was bad. It's like, why would I play Game Boy Advance when I have GameCube? Like, it's just better. I played Pokemon.
My Tamagotchi, I did play Pokemon.
I played Pokemon on my 64 and my GameCube. Like, like.
See, yeah, that's just it. You didn't have access to like an actual Game Boy at the time, so I understand that. But for me, it was too big to carry around, and the batteries were always going out, and the batteries were
you had those batteries, and then like I'm not sure which one is which because I didn't own it, but I remember one of them. I know the Game Boy, but one of them after the Game Boy, like the GBA or the GB Lite or whatever, had this terrible screen that like you could not.
Oh,
like,
no, it was the original Game Boy
No,
Advance.
I know that one, but there was another one. Oh, is it the Advance? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I'm talking about like the original like ice.
Yeah, like the little one with like Yeah, I can remember it. Like, I remember holding it, playing. A friend of mine was like, "This screen is terrible."
When SP came out, I was like, Mommy, I want that one. And she's like, you already have one. I was like, no, you don't understand. I need it.
Felt like I had to play it with like a flashlight like on it or something. You just couldn't see it at all.
Yeah.
So I never got I never got portables because one, I had limited funds, and two, it was just like, it was always better on consoles. So I never did. But at this time, like I said, just prime Donnie listening to all these podcasts. Like, I was there, like, listening to the comparisons and the videos and everything. And that when the 3DS launched that first year, I was like, what a piece of trash. This crappy plastic, this crappy screen, like these crappy games. Like, oh, I hate this thing. And I remember when they, like, the ambassadors, like, I'm not paying you $250 for these old games. Like, this is ridiculous. So things like that would never, but the XL changed the game. And which is so, like, the reason I wanted to kind of tell this story is, like, how much history repeats itself, or possibly repeats itself. Not that the Switch is bad, but here we are with a completely new revision, you know, all over again. We went from the Nintendo Switch, now we have the Switch Lite, and it's changing everything about what we knew about this console, and that's what the 3DS XL did for me. I got the red one. I think it came out in 2012. It came out the year after, I think, the red one. And the thing that I remember about when I got it was I got the bundle, the red 3DS XL with Super Mario 3D Land included. It came with it. And I picked up Ocarina of Time. And the reason I remember that is on those old 3DS XL, like, Etsy had like a little market for like stencil stickers. Did you ever do that? You remember those? Yeah. So that you would have like these designs that you could just like put on your 3DS, and it made it look like they were stenciled, like the designs. And I had like a Link stencil that I put on my red one, and I played Ocarina of Time, and I played 3D Land. And the reason that I got the 3DS XL, I believe, was that year they had either I think they showed the new Fire Emblem game, Awakening. And I heard NVC talking about, like, this Awakening game looks amazing, and, like, the new 3DS XL is amazing. So all of a sudden it started to turn, right? With the XL, the whole thing started to turn. Fire Emblem's on the way. Super Mario 3D Land. Oh, no. Super Mario Bros. 2 came with the XL. Right. And it was like, that game was awesome. It was super great. And it was like, honestly, it was almost better than a Wii version of Super Mario Bros. Like, it was a console quality version.
It was great
of that game on a handheld, and that's what made me make the jump into my first portable.
How is this cheap plastic? It's tiny.
I hate the way it looks and the way it feels. It just feels like, I feel like you could just break it.
It has some good weight to it for me.
It's not like the XLs. It's not like the new ones.
All right, but for those of you guys watching, this is my original Aqua Blue.
They're like clicky. I don't know. I just didn't like it.
It is kind of clicky. I get you. But mine's still in really good condition.
So yeah, I got the new Super Mario Bros. I got Ocarina of Time 3D, which I adore. I love that game. One. Oh, and then that was it for me. Like, from that point forward, I was sold. I was sold on the portables, and I later got a Vita, many Vitas, and I've had many 3DSs from them. But yeah, that's kind of my origin story anyway. So it's interesting that you were there on the OG model. You got that clickety clack. Ugh, you got that thing, and then
I liked the color. It was my color, turquoise, baby. So, all right, but yeah, I did get my Aqua Blue late 2012. The actual reason that I got it, I saw that Ocarina of Time remake was out, but the newest Harvest Moon game was coming out in late 2012. Harvest Moon: A New Beginning, and I was like, that is amazing. It's like the first time that it was a 3D game on a handheld, and I was like, I gotta get it. We haven't had I think Animal Parade was the last one that was on a console, and we still haven't had one. For reference, we haven't had a Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon on console since then. It's been a long time. So they basically exclusively moved over to handhelds, and I knew that it was going that way. So that was my first game. I got an older Harvest Moon title, and I got Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time. Those were my first three. And this was around the time that I started working, so this was the first one that I actually bought myself. I was able to buy the games as I wanted them for myself. This is kind of like I made this. I'm proud of it,
And I remember those OG ones, so like not only are the screens small, but like the 3D effect was like really sensitive on those. And I know it's the same 3D effect on the XL model, but the XL models like worked better because it was bigger.
I just noticed this is missing a stylus, and that is a big no-no for me. I'm freaking out. I got to get a stylus replacement.
Before we leave the launch, though, I did write this down because this is another thing that I remember like vividly in my podcast days of which one's better, the Vita or the 3DS, and what are they doing?
Yeah.
And honestly, just the dumpster fire that was the 3DS's launch.
Yeah.
There were games at that 2010 E3 show that were completely canceled. Not like a game. Multiple games that Iwata was on stage talking about like, this is coming. Never came.
I remember
they
that.
They were canceled like within a year. They weren't even, they were canceled like right out of the gate. They're like, that thing we said 2 months ago, totally canceled.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
So I wrote some down for you.
Oh, please do.
A game called Saints Row Drive-By was announced coming to 3DS at the unveiling at E3. Totally canceled.
Wow.
An Assassin's Creed game.
What?
Assassin's Creed Lost Legacy. Totally announced by Iwata at the thing. Totally canceled.
Wow. I wonder if some of these were legitimate, like, if they were lies or if they were... Did they have gameplay for them?
No. None of these games do not have gameplay. They don't have screenshots. They were just logos talked about. There were articles maybe afterwards, like they did interviews. You can go back and read some of this stuff. DJ Hero 3, which was announced for 3DS, canceled for 3DS, revived for Wii U, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and Xbox, canceled for that too.
Bless its heart.
And like, it's so much fun when you go back to do these retrospectives. Every console goes through this. Every one of them. Every console that's ever come out, when they do like the initial unveiling, here are the games. You can like, this is food for thought right now as we head into this next gen with PlayStation, Xbox. That first conference when they tell us the launch lineup of games, go in there thinking 2 or 3 of these are never showing up. Because every console, like they don't show up. But yeah, there was like a lot of, and I remember that. Like if you Google it now, you can find articles of like the 3DS game cancellation problem.
Wow.
They had all these games and they just got canceled. So what ended up happening was they ended up with Pilot Wings and Steel Diver and Dino 3D and...
I forgot about Pilot Wings. That was launched.
It's gross. It was like weird because the 3DS to me now felt like it like soft launched. It totally launched like a super hiccup. It didn't really get going until the year after, which is I guess normal. But I remember, was it Resident Evil Mercenaries 3D? That was awesome.
I'm not an RE person.
That was super fun. But yeah, fun facts.
So you got the larger model, came to town in 2012, 3DS XL. In 2013, the 2DS was announced. It lacked the 3D. It was a lower price point. You can edit me out saying it before because you cut me off. You're so mean. It was geared towards kiddos, right?
Yep.
Pimped like eye safety and the doorstop brick design, which made it nigh unbreakable, all that kind of stuff. That one coincided with the launch of Pokemon X and Y, so that was really geared towards the kiddos. Then in late 2014, we get the new
Nintendo 3DS.
Nintendo 3DS and 3DS XL launched late 2014.
Now, this is where everybody
in Australia.
This is where everybody just made fun of names. For like a good month, it was, how is anybody going to know what to buy? The 3DS, the new 3DS, the 2DS, the 3DS XL. Like, it was a constant thing.
I think on the Wikipedia, when I was looking, they've designated it into 5 different categories. So there's 3DS, 3DS XL, 2DS, 3DS, or new Nintendo 3DS and 3DS XL, and then new Nintendo 2DS.
Yep.
So those are your 5. The new Nintendo 3DS and 3DS XL released in late 2014 in Japan and Australia and early 2015 in Europe and North America. It's around the time that this beautiful Majora's Mask one came out, if you guys are looking. It featured a more powerful processor, face tracking for improved 3D viewing angles, a new C-stick, additional Z, L, and R buttons, colored face buttons, automatic brightness adjustments, micro SD storage, larger batteries, and an integrated NFC Amiibo chip. If you didn't have one, they had a little peripheral puck that you could just like attack. See, I want to get one just to be like, what was that?
You know that's going to be like a Nintendo collector's thing, like 20 years from now.
I've got to get one. I have the Amiibo puck. Oh, big deal. So that it also had slightly larger screens, as you guys could tell. And for the new one, there were some titles such as Xeno 3D, which I still don't own.
It's bad.
Or this one, Fire Emblem Warriors, which I just got. God, that is bleached out.
That's great.
And you can tell at the top it says compatible only for Nintendo 3DS. New Nintendo 3DS, excuse me. And then we finally got our last model. New Nintendo 2DS XL released July of 2017. It featured the additional hardware capabilities for the new Nintendo 3DS minus its 3D capabilities. Now foldable and not in the brick style. Altogether, there were 6 versions made of the...
When you were counting earlier, I was going to tell you it was 6. And the most important thing about the new Nintendo 3DS in terms of game libraries is it came with Super Nintendo Virtual Console that you can only get on the new Nintendo 3DS.
That's true. Here's my 2DS. Oops. It's just really bleached out. I've got it in the box. It'll never come out of the box.
Right now, she's showing us the Hylian Shield edition. Yeah, so we're still a podcast. Nobody's going to watch this.
Whatever. All right, so this thing actually shows on the back. It said 82% larger XL screens compared to the 2DS system, the C-Stick, ergonomic folding design, and Amiibo and NFC support built in.
Fun stuff, man. Fun, crazy time.
How far it has come. So as of March 31st, 2019, Nintendo has sold 75.08 million with an M 3DS or 2DS units worldwide, 25.18 million in Japan, 26.45 million in North America, and 23.46 million in other areas.
It's roughly like 25 across the board. And it's amazing. It's very... Well, it's not amazing. It's interesting to think how much of this number is inflated from people like us that have bought multiple. Because everybody that I know that has a 3DS has bought more than one.
Yeah.
So that number's got to be inflated, which is a far cry from like the DS days, because like they even still didn't sell that much, And like it always makes me wonder like just how big is like that Nintendo base. Is it just 30 million-ish, and we'll just buy more than one Switch, and we'll buy more than one DS? Yeah,
I think it's about 50 million. I'd say probably 50 million.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the significance of the 3DS's placement in Nintendo's lifetime really quick. It was released in 2011, near the end of the Wii's lifetime. Based on our knowledge of the unpopularity of the Wii U, which was released in late 2012, the 3DS was kind of the dominant system for Nintendo until the Switch released in 2017.
Really carried the company, and they had the software to do so. Link Between Worlds, Pokemon X and Y, Omega Ruby Sapphire, Sun and Moon. Yep, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Like, we'll get into some of these games. Like, this really carried, if you were a Nintendo fan, if you were a Nintendo fan from 2010 to 2016, you better had a 3DS on you.
Oh, 3DS, at least. Yeah. One. For reference, the Wii U only sold 13.56 million units worldwide compared to 3DS's 75.08 million units. That's over 5 times as much.
I've done this a bunch. I've said this a bunch on our show over the years, but I still to this day believe, and I wholeheartedly believe this, that the Wii U would have sold better if they had marketed around the DS line and not the Wii line. I've always thought if they called it the DS Home and they made it like a companion to the 3DS and they kind of leaned that way and they talked about dual screen gaming and they compared it to the 3DS but something you could do with your TV, I've always thought that minor tweak would have changed the Wii U forever.
Game. Yeah. The naming was just horrible.
Yep. 100%.
Terrible marketing decision. All right. As of this podcast, there are 1301 games available on the Nintendo 3DS.
1,300 games. Wow.
What are our favorite games from the library, Donnie?
You want me to go?
It doesn't matter to me.
I wrote them in order. Here's kind of how I did this.
I wrote mine in order too.
My top 6 are the games I played most, which I feel like is probably the best way for me to tell you what are my favorite games. Because obviously I played them the most.
Do you want to go from 10 to 1? Because that's how I was going to do mine.
And then I threw in some others that I just wanted to have recognition. And I left, like, it's hard to only pick 10, so there's a couple here that I'm definitely missing. But yeah, we can.
I originally wanted to do between 5 and 10, and then I was finding it was difficult for me to not mention other people aside from 10.
So number 10 for me is Shovel Knight.
Okay.
And it's interesting because Shovel Knight's been everywhere and everything, but I remember when Shovel Knight came to 3DS, it like launched on 3DS, and it was a huge thing, and I played it nonstop for a long time when it came out. So Shovel Knight. Number 9 is Metroid: Samus Returns. Now, this is one of the later ones that just came out this past year, and it is just fantastic. It's great with the 3D effect and everything. Like I barreled through it with Jason.
It's been 2 years since it came out.
Has it? I'm really bad with time. So
late 2017. Don't you remember it was the Switch stuff, and then
I
just
do.
like, and then here's a random 3DS game launching in Treehouse.
I do remember, and everybody had been asking for it for so long, right? Just go back to old Metroid, and they totally did, and it was great. Oh, so good. Number 8 for me is it's I put here it's just Box Boy, and I'm gonna include just everything for Box Boy, but I can't tell you how many games of Box Boy I've sold to other people, how much I have played Box Boy. Like, I love Box Boy, talk about forever. So Box Boy. Number 7 is an interesting one, I think, because it's not really a 3DS game, but it sold really well, and it was amazing feat like of technical prowess. Super Smash Bros. 3DS. Super Smash Bros. Like,
It's a big game.
was huge. Sold gangbusters on 3DS.
Yeah.
Like, they released a whole...
More than Wii U.
They did. They released a whole new model of 3DS with Amiibo built in for Smash Brothers. Like, let's hold no bones about it. That's why all this came. And it was great. It was like a one-for-one, almost complete portable make of Super Smash Brothers. Had its own courses, had its own levels, and it was just fantastic. And one of the things that I love that I still have on my 3DS, because it's just super weird, I don't know how they did it, but again, going back to if the Wii U was marketed as a DS companion, you could play Smash Brothers on your Wii U using your 3DS as a controller.
Yep.
They had an app that you could buy. I have it right now on my little 3DS for $1.99, and you could play it as a controller. It was so super cool. We did it. I put that app on everything. My kids had it on all of their DSs. We played that way. It was super fun. Just what a great game. Had a super roster. Like, it was super good. Number 6. Now, this is most played. Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Okay.
Now, I don't claim to be the Animal Crossing fan, that anybody will respect. I've played. I mean, it's like I'm just not going to be like, oh, I'm the biggest fan, because I'm obviously not. I think my time came in on Animal Crossing around 50 hours. I put into Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Noob.
That's a lot for me. And the reason I bought Animal Crossing was because of Nintendo Voice Chat and NVC, and listening to it at the time and hearing the people week after week after week talk about that game. One of the funniest reviews that I've ever seen, and I've always thought this. Go back and watch IGN's review of Animal Crossing New Leaf when it came out. I don't remember who did it. I think it was the guy who went to Beyond. It was Marty. It's one of the oddest reviews. You can tell he has no idea how to evaluate this game. Like, he doesn't really know. I mean, I'm serious. Like, he doesn't really know what's in front of him. He just talks about how it's... he's just like, I don't, it's just watch it.
It's a game.
You'll understand what I'm talking about when you watch it, because he's like,
yeah.
I don't really know what to tell you. It's, you pick fruit. He doesn't,
You pick fruit.
he doesn't get it yet.
I love it.
But I don't blame him. I'm not saying it's a bad review by no means. I don't blame him, because
if you tried to explain to Animal Crossing to somebody in verbal,
that's what I'm trying to do. What a hard game to review.
Yes. Animal Crossing for me is just, you have to show people.
They have to do it.
You just have to show people.
Once they get in, and when you get in, it's all community based. Because if nobody played it, then Animal Crossing New Leaf wouldn't be Animal Crossing New Leaf. But because a lot of people started playing it, it started to get buzz. You started to share patterns. You started to play with friends. Word of mouth starts to spread. That's Animal Crossing. And when you get into that, then it becomes a different thing. And what a hard game to review, because he's playing it for pre-release. He's one of 100 people playing in the world. It's not the same game. Anyway, I love that review. It's very funny to think about.
You mentioning that word of mouth thing. Coach was here last week, and he said he didn't get into Animal Crossing until you told him about it.
That's it.
Boom.
I didn't get into Animal Crossing until somebody told me, but I played Animal Crossing on GameCube and Wii. I had the little Wii talk sensor thing. I played it. I was always like, it's okay. I played for a week or
Oh.
so, but I played this one for 50 hours, and I played it. I got into it and played it because I had fun.
I don't know. It was a happenstance for me to discover it on GameCube at Blockbuster, and we rented it, and I've been hooked ever since.
And now
It's
it's
just
in
weird
this.
for me like that.
It's in this maybe like pre-Fire Emblem space where if they can hit on it again, it could be could be big.
Huge.
So number 5 for me was Ocarina of Time 3D. Now the reason this is so high in my playlist because I've played it 3 or 4 times. I just keep playing it over and over again. It's by far the best way to play this game. The map controls and the motion and the gyro make it so much better, but the 3D effect in Ocarina of Time 3D is the best use case of the 3D effect I think I ever played.
It is very good.
It's so good. It makes that old geometry and everything like softens the edges and just makes the colors pop in the perfect amount, and it looks so beautiful.
Yes, to an extent. There are certain areas of the game that were very ominous and dark to me in the N64, like the Ganon fight at the end, that were brightened up too much in the 3D that
I gotcha.
bothered me.
See, when
So
I think
like
about
that-
this, I'm thinking of like Zora's Domain, the
get you.
forest with
No,
the particle effect.
totally
I'm like,
understand.
oh, it's so
Like,
beautiful.
Lost Woods and the Sacred
Yes.
Forest Meadow are gorgeous.
So good.
But dark, ominous areas were kind of just brightened up to the point that I'm like, it's not as scary anymore.
Okay.
It's just not. So, yeah, I get the gripe both ways.
Number 4, Fire Emblem Awakening.
You and I have, all right, that's interesting.
By far, to this day, the best story in a Fire Emblem game.
Absolutely.
Just the best.
You and I completely agree on that.
Probably like by the way, not my first Fire Emblem game. I played Fire Emblem GameCube. I still have Radiant Dawn upstairs. Like, so
Yeah.
I've played them. I never really beat those. I would never say I was like into them. I just like tactics games, and I used to be like into Dynasty Warriors, especially like in the old PS2 ones where you could control units and stuff. Advance
Yeah.
Wars I always liked. I've talked to you about
all the Wars games. Yep.
Battalion Wars. Like, so this was always kind of in my ilk. I played them. Would
Right.
never have considered myself a fan. Did not pre-order them. Did not
Right.
rush to get them. Played them until Fire Emblem Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening was the game that hit when I heard on podcasts people talk about this game that I thought, first game ever on a 3DS where I said, I have to go get this game. The word of mouth, the buzz that I'm hearing, I have to play it. And I went and played it, and I played it like this is, and by the way, I rank these in playtime. I played this game religiously all the way, just loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Number 3 on my list is Fire Emblem Fates, which I've played more than Awakening.
Yeah.
I like the characters in Fates more, and it's not just because of Corrin, although
There's
I do
more
love Corrin.
characters in-
There's more characters. I loved the dueling roles. I like that so much more than like the time travel stuff from Awakening. Like that's the type of stuff that kind of lost me. Fates felt more, as much as you can say for a Fire Emblem game, felt more like grounded.
Normal.
Yeah, definitely. They're dragon veins and stuff like that, but outside of the fantasy element, more
gotcha.
normal. So I definitely like that more. Number 2, my favorite in the series to date, and the biggest reason why I don't have other thing on here, Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think it's my favorite Pokemon game to this point.
I'd have to agree with you. It's probably the best. Like,
I
it's
love
the
Pokemon Sun.
culmination.
It's so
I
good.
think.
You're 100% right. It's everything. It's everything the Pokemon series ever did, like
up to-
all wrapped up into
Into
one.
one point. Yep.
Has a great story. Something I always bring up when I talk about Pokemon Sun, because people don't bring up stories in Pokemon games because they're normally like a side thing. Pokemon Sun wasn't. Had a great story, a really
Amazing
good
story.
story. Great roster, great Pokedex, streamlined menus, OS, all of it. Loved it.
Yep.
Played it a bunch. Number 1, Mario Golf World Tour,
I was thinking of. Wow, I can't believe you didn't put a link between worlds on there.
which I have played Mario Golf
course.
World Tour for over 150 hours. Because
Wow.
I am a sucker for a golf game, and this is one of the best ones I've ever played. And I still play it. Like to this
I know
day,
you do.
I still play this game. Every week or so, I will just open it and I'll sit on the couch and I will play a round of golf while I watch TV. As I was finishing Stranger Things, I was playing Mario Golf World Tour. Like this is that game for me. And I played it just so much. I played the online tournaments, all the DLC, all the stuff. I've hosted my own tournaments. My history with this is well documented. People know this. for 4 years, you can find internet content tying me to this game, and I've been playing it ever since, and I love it. I do want to talk about a couple of games I left off the list, but I don't want to stop you from your list, so I'll just play off of you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start at number 10, Pokemon X and Y. Mm-hmm. This made the list because it was the first Pokemon game that I had played since Ruby Sapphire. It, like, just seeing the game in the footage brought me back into wanting to play Pokemon. So it has a special place in my heart. The Kalos region is gorgeous. Like the character customization, that kind of stuff really drew me into this game. And I still am just, I find myself going back to it every so often.
Is a really pretty, like, I think it's a pretty take on like old Pokemon style, like art style. Mm-hmm. It's a very good take on that. I didn't like it as much. They lengthened
the characters out a little bit. They weren't as small and spritey. It was like more of a beauty pageant type thing.
Kind of.
They had that, oh gosh, what was it? You could shoot commercials and stuff. It was very interesting. But yeah, I really liked the customization and stuff that you could do in that game. And I just love the region. Kalos is great. Number 9, Harvest Moon, A Tale of Two Towns, the 3D version. This actually came out very late on the DS in America because localization and stuff. And they brought it to the West. They decided to port it over to the 3D, and they actually gave it some 3D elements. And it's only North America, I believe, that has got this 3D version. And this game, to me, is just, it's probably in my top 5 favorite Harvest Moons of all time. There's just something about the style, the gameplay, the story that really resonates with me. Like when I'm looking for, it's fine to just lose your mind and farming sim, but Harvest Moon games in general have always pretty much good stories, and this one is probably one of the best stories. Number 8, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and we pretty much just touched on it. Like, this is the culmination of Pokemon games for me, and aside from not having gym battles and instead doing like Z crystals and trials and stuff, which I actually kind of prefer. You know, there are like a lot of different little ones, and I just preferred that. Mario Golf World Tour comes in at number 7. Didn't we talk about this when we like met at GameStop? And we were just like,
amazing.
Talking about,
yep, that's the game that brought us together.
Yeah, it's just I mean, like I've played golf games since Arnold Palmer's Tournament Golf for the Sega Genesis, and it's just, I don't know. There's something about
never thought you'd met your match. And then I walked in the store one day.
Yeah, well, I never thought that I would like golf games and video games to the point that I do. And like I've just gotten every Mario Golf game in the series, and this was a no-brainer for me. And this one is
this
like
is
the
so
best
good.
Mario
It's the
Golf
best
game
one. It's not even close. It's
date.
so good.
Yeah. Yep. All of the like clubs and outfits you can buy, and the Callaway
character customization, like the inclusion of Mii's, the courses, Mercedes.
But I'm like getting just those tournaments where you could get the exclusive gear, like the Callaway exclusive stuff.
I was addicted to that. I
was like, I have to play every weekend.
I did the same thing.
You have to play every weekend. Mm-hmm. It was great.
I had a whole group on like a message board and everything. I had a whole group where I'd post like, this is what the club is this week. You get this glove. I kept everybody updated. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Is it?
It was good. Well, I mean,
super nerdy.
It kind of told you on the front page, you know, what.
Yeah, but they wouldn't check it. So I would post to the message board and let everybody know, like, come play this. Oh, and you know, I would sit here and talk about this game forever. I love the multiplayer aspect of this game. I hope it's something they never let go of, because you can play tournaments, but you don't all have to play together at the same time.
Yep, and they just show the ghosts of the other people.
Every golf game forever should have that. Let everybody play a tournament a week on their own time, and let everybody see that's so good.
Here's where you and I start to differ.
Oh, we differ a lot.
The rest of my games are pretty much like. Number 6, Bravely Default. Mm-hmm. This is like, bar none, the best JRPG on the system. Like, when you're talking about classic JRPG. Holy crap. This game I learned about from a friend that actually turned me into Fire Emblem. And he said, you know, I know you like JRPGs, and you would really like the characters in this game. The story's great. It's a little crazy towards the end, which I will tell everybody to this day. If you're going to play this game, you need to be aware of the curveball that happens. Because the last couple of hours you've got left in the game are very grueling and very difficult to get through. But this game, the music is amazing. The popularity of this game in Japan, they have their own concerts. It got a sequel, Bravely Second, and they just need to continue the series. Square hit a home run with this game. Oh my god, I can't stress enough how much
I played it for 12 hours.
Game. Bravely, that's all you've played? Man, I don't even think you got your full party.
I'm opening up my daily log now. Yeah.
Can't believe you. All right, so Donnie's not a JRPG fan. Number 5, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. This is basically a Link to the Past clone, but they got pretty much everything right. Like, I mean, the mechanic with jumping in and out of the wall, I 100% of this game. Like, it was one of the first Zeldas that I started. Was like, I'm going to 100% Zelda games now. And it was one of the ones that I actually did. I got all the Mai-Mais. Just a great, God, if you want to spend 40 hours in a handheld game, get Link Between Worlds, please.
Wow. Yeah,
you owe it to yourself.
We couldn't differ more. If it wasn't for Jason Lacey, I would have never finished this game.
What?
It was one of this. I bought this, and we're going to talk about the systems. I had the system. I upgraded to the system when it launched and came out. I was really excited. It was their day one. And I started playing it, and you said it. It's a Link to the Past. And, I've said this for I love 3D Zeldas and I like 2D Marios. And this was a 2D Zelda game that was cool. It looked good. Don't get me wrong. I liked the wall mechanic. It was cool. But I wasn't enamored with it. I wasn't invested into it. I didn't love what I was doing. And at several points, not even right then, at several points, I think it took me maybe a year to beat it. At several points along the way, I just stopped playing it for other things. And it would always be Jason Lacey. Back then on message boards, he'd be like, you should really finish it. And he'd always come back to me, you should really finish it. And I did. For him, I was like, for you, I'm going to finish this game. And I did. And I played it. I don't think it stands up. I like Ocarina more on 3DS. And I guess for that reason alone, that's why I put that one on my list versus this one. And I know people love Link to the Past. I do too. It's just, to me, it was too much like Link to the Past. I don't know. It just didn't feel grand enough. The whole... I remember at the time, all of the rage was they let you go into any dungeon you want and you get any item you want. It's that didn't really matter to me. It never has.
It was huge for me.
I always wanted, tell me a great story. I don't care what path you put me on. Let me go but tell me a great story. I think it's just the world. Make the world feel that's my thing with Zelda games. I want to walk around in this world that I want to walk around in. I never felt that with Link Between Worlds. I never wanted to walk around and talk to everybody.
Oh, I did.
So...
Man, I just got this buzz on my phone that said Fire Emblem Three Houses comes out tomorrow. Are you excited? All right. Number 4, we put our 4 at the same spot. Fire Emblem Awakening. The friend that told me about Bravely Default told me about Fire Emblem around 2014 after it had come out.
That's a good friend.
You would really, really love the characters and the story. And he's like, I know you like tactical games, but I never played, I played the Wars games.
It's intimidating.
It really is.
100%
really
is.
But he told me, he's like, they've got these modes. I knew Fire Emblem is the one that's oh, your character dies, they die forever.
Yep.
And he told me, he's like, they've implemented things now where it's casual mode, and if they die on the map, they come back after that, and you don't have to play it like crazy. Oh my god.
I don't play that way. I never have.
Yeah, no.
I'm never given the option.
Lucina has had such a profound impact on me as a character. We're naming our daughter, her name will be Rachel Lucina. That's will be awesome. Her name. Brian and I have decided we love Lucina. There's just something
Lucina,
about...
then. Get rid of the Rachel. Switch those around.
Rachel's my favorite name.
Call her Lucy. Rachel
Lou. That's what we'll call her. Anyway,
you just took Lucina, a great thing and rednecked it all to belief.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. All right. So, I can't stress enough how wonderful Fire Emblem Awakening is. The story,
it's otherworldly. It's so good.
I cried at it.
I didn't, but I don't blame you. that's the thing. So the thing that really won me over with the 3DS, and I've been on this wagon ever since. I mean, that's the game. That was the game when I played it, and I was like, "Holy crap! If this game came to Wii or Wii U, if it was a console game, because that's what it felt like. This was a big console-like experience that you were having on this little portable thing. Like the
voice acting is
they put everything into this game.
Top notch.
The cutscenes are gorgeous. Like they gave you everything they had, and I'm like."
But you know
and this
what?
was supposed to be like the last one, right?
This was like their last ditch.
The last
effort
hurrah.
to save the series.
And it showed.
And I've bought every Fire Emblem game on pre-order since.
Yep, so have I. Been there every one since then. And we're not alone. This is a common 3DS thing. A lot of people have found and loved Fire Emblem.
From Awakening.
Yep.
It really did save the series, and like I don't know, like I mean it's still huge, like right here.
Hey, that's why it's all Smash. That's why there are 18 characters.
Yeah, people have no idea. Number 3 is Rune Factory 4. Mixes Harvest Moon with dungeon crawling. If you haven't played a Rune Factory game,
Never have.
This is the best Rune Factory game that they've ever made. I can't tell you how long I've played this game. I've probably played it close to like 200 hours. There's like, it's just the story and the chapters and the ongoing grind to level your character just keeps on giving. It's phenomenal. It's getting a special version that's coming out to Switch, and I'm going to buy that like hotcakes. Number 2, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Can't tell you how much I've played this game, how much I love this game. It's the best Animal Crossing they've had in the series so far. It is, it's just phenomenal. I mean, a lot of people know, and a lot of people have played Animal Crossing. I've played this game more than any other Animal Crossing game ever. Like, probably all of the other ones combined, added up together. My whole village is full of cats. I would buy and trade villagers. Like, I would get a very popular villager come to my town, and I'd be like, got so-and-so in my town, come court them. They're moving out. 65 million bells for Marshall. Or if you've got Rosie in your town, I want her in my town and I'll trade you. Like, it was just insanity like that, where I bought all 9 cat villagers. Number 1, people don't know this game, and that's okay. I'm hoping that I turn some people onto this just by mentioning it. Level 5 has this amazing game that was shown at, I think, E3 2015, called Fantasy Life. And this game is just like the perfect job. There's 12 different job classes, and your character can switch between all of them, explore the world, go through the story. Like, it's probably because I'm I'm hormonal that I'm like tearing up about it, but like I just have so much love for this game, and just like the time I spent with this game is like some of the happiest times I can remember on 3DS. I can't put it into words. There's the music, there's the characters, there's the areas, the monsters. Everything about this game is just, there's no fault with this game in my opinion. I bought the DLC like within the first day of me playing it. I was like, have to have the DLC.
Great.
Fantasy Life, level 5. If you don't have it, you need to have it.
Do you know how many games you've played on your 3DS in total? I'm looking at my list.
I'm looking at my shelf right now because I have everything physical.
I'm looking at my playtime list in my daily log.
You know what?
I've played 294 games on 3DS.
Wow, you've beaten me for sure.
Now, of course, these are counting Virtual Console and stuff like that too.
I see. I never played Virtual Console on there, so
Wow, you're missing out. I've got 30 Virtual Console games.
I own. Well, I take that back because I do have the old Shantaes on my 3DS. I own 58 physical games, and probably another 20 that I downloaded. So, I mean, I have like the Oracle games from Zelda on there. I do have all the Zeldas downloaded.
I don't want to read off everything and, just have like a never-ending conversation about games. But I did want to just say, I was talking to Kevin after E3, and we're talking about weird Nintendo and stuff like that. And I said it on that podcast. The 3DS really represents the best of like weird gaming.
Sure.
There's just so many things out there on 3DS that you can play, especially like in the indie space. I'm sitting here just like combing through the games that I have, and like I've got so many games that I really, really enjoyed that are like worth mentioning. I'm trying to pull them all up. Like Harmonite was like a really cool little indie game, like a little rhythm thing, right? All the Box Boys, Shantae, Shovel Knight, like all these things were there. Like there's Pokemon Rumble World, Pokemon Rumble Blast.
Rumble World was my favorite.
I love Rhythm Heaven Fever, like Mega Mix. It was such a good little game. All the SteamWorld stuff was there. One of my favorite games, and actually one of my most played games, Metroid Prime Blast Ball. The little demo thing that they gave you with Federation. That game is awesome. If they brought that game to Switch, I'd play that. You like Rocket League? It's like Rocket League, except instead of driving cars, you shoot guns.
I don't like Rocket League. I suck at it.
It's better when you shoot guns. I like shooting stuff. Like shooting things you shoot games. To throw Bobby, who gave us a question, a bone. He's doing all the stuff for Atui and Jules and all them. What a great system for any of that like Renegade Kid stuff, man. Not only the Mutant Muds, but the Moon Chronicles, Dementium Remastered.
Well,
all that stuff's available.
The limited run people are doing an Atui collection for 3DS physically that's coming out.
I remember that.
It's got all of those games on there. So yeah, shout out to Bobby.
Planet Robobot. Did you ever play a game called Ironfall? I don't think you would have played it. It's basically Gears of War, but on a 3DS. And it's crazy that these games, like, these exist. I beat that game. Like, I didn't just play it, I beat it. Yeah. Like, there's all kinds of... And, like, how weird Miitopia and
Miitopia, I forgot.
All of that stuff, like...
But see, like, I even played the like, Street Pass games,
Street Pass games. Everybody played those. We're going to get into those a bit now. I'm looking at my... let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4... I have 33... Virtual Console games. One of my favorites, Streets of Rage 2 3D. It's so good on 3DS. You gotta play Streets of Rage in 3D. It's beautiful. I have all the Pokemon games that they released Virtual Console. I downloaded them all, got rid of my carts.
Yeah.
Like, my 3DS will never go away. I will always have it. It's such a legacy console. I have over 100 games in here easy. Like I don't know if I could count them all if they tell you. I have easily over 100 games on my 3DS. So let's jump in. No, let's answer this question first. Let's talk about the systems before we finish the questions and get out of here. How many 3DS systems do you have or have owned, and which ones?
I showed you guys all 3 of the ones that I've owned. Aqua Blue original model, Majora's Mask limited edition new Nintendo 3DS, and the Hylian Shield new Nintendo 2DS.
I started with the red one. I upgraded to the Link Between Worlds gold and black with the Triforce. Yep. From there, I upgraded to the new Nintendo 3DS XL Majora's Mask edition. I was one of those folks that picked that up from Kirby.
Bless his heart.
I got rid of that one when the new Nintendo 3DS, the Slim model, came out, which had faceplates. Which I'm an avid collector of, and I do love the faceplates. The one 3DS item, well, there's 2. The Fates Collector's Edition thing, you already know. The other 3DS item that I've always wanted, but I've never paid for, they made an Ambassador brand faceplate.
Ooh.
That I've always wanted, that are super limited in Japan, and they're stupid expensive for something like a faceplate. And they're not even that great. The white, I just want one.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the things. But I've got 12 pairs of faceplates. I moved on from the faceplate model for the 2DS XL Hylian Shield Edition, and then I went back. And my kids have had my hand-me-down XLs.
Did you sell the 2DS, the Hylian Shield?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
You made me so mad. Actually, no, what I didn't do, what I did was I gave it to Jack. We got rid of his. He played on it until he wanted to switch, and we sold it to get the Switch, second Switch. Pokeswitch. So, yeah, it's been a constant like trade up and down thing. My kids have had 2DSs and 3DSs. I remember
for keeps.
I got Jack one of the Pokemon Units ones. I got Victoria one of those 2DS XL bundles that came with Animal Crossing and Pokemon when she was younger. So we've had a bunch. We've had a bunch of systems.
The only one I want that I still haven't gotten is the like those models that they came out with was the white and orange 2DS XL. And then it was the blue and turquoise one, and I want the blue and turquoise.
I always
one.
like the Yoshi model. Just the green is super simple and nice.
Oh, that one was good too.
But this one is my favorite. It has been my favorite, and I remember when I got rid of it, I always kind of wanted it back. And when I get back to it, I don't know, something about this form factor, the smaller size, it fits in your pocket. It's easy to carry, hold. I love the screen. Like the screen looks good. It doesn't look like it's stretched out at all. It's like the perfect size. You know, the 3D works on it, and the faceplates. I love the faceplates. I've got 12 pairs of faceplates now. I can swap them out. I have a different 3DS every day. I've always loved the faceplates for that reason.
I love your KK slider faceplates.
Those are good.
Favorite.
Yeah, those are good. And I even have faceplates that are like so nice and rare that I don't even use them because I don't want them to get all scratched up.
I wouldn't blame you.
They're just there. But like, why even have them? All right, let's get into some questions. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Tim Alf asks or says, "I miss Street Pass. Should it be moved to the Switch? Should it go mobile? Where's the 4DS?" Finally,
these are like 5 questions.
Why can't the 3DS and 2DS live on? Why does it have to die?
All right. I miss Street Pass 2. I wanted it to be on Switch so bad. Like, the fact that Switch is portable and it like touts that portability, you think that it would put Street Pass. I think that Street Pass is phenomenal. A mobile idea would be good. 4DS, what is 4D? Is that like where it sprays water in your face while you're watching?
Yeah, I guess
stuff?
so, yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Like
Can you imagine like the upkeep on that?
I don't know.
You have to replace the scent cartridges. Why can't the 3DS and 2DS live on? Because they're making better games for the Switch.
That's it. It doesn't have to die. They can keep selling them. It still has a great library of games. What have I said for a long time? Why don't they load up a 3DS with 10, 12, 20, 30 games and sell it? The instant game collection 3DS for $150 and just keep selling them. Actually, you don't even have to make games anymore. Keep making faceplates and new designs, and there are Nintendo fans that keep buying them. Like, they'll just keep buying them. So keep doing Hylian and Shields and stuff. But if they ever continued Street Pass, I actually think Street Pass is the perfect mobile thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it should be a phone thing, not a Switch thing. Just put it on your Switch, or let it do both. I wouldn't be opposed to that either, but it should be a phone thing. That makes the most sense in the world for the phone thing.
Yep.
When playing the 3DS, were you a physical gamer or digital? What's your fondest memory of the 3DS? That comes from Bobby, the Nintendo guru Pauls. Duh. Caroline's a physical. All right.
Duh.
I have over 100 games. I should have counted them. It could be 200. I have over 100 games on my 3DS right now. So I mostly went digital.
Yeah.
I still have 10 or so physical games. Star Fox, which I never got rid of. I never got rid of my Fire Emblems, and I never got rid of my Zeldas. So I basically keep those physical.
Fondest memory for me, probably, like I said, just the pure joy and contentment I had playing Fantasy Life. Like, I just got so lost in that game. I was so happy. That game is just so vibrant and happy playing that game.
I believe the year I played Awakening was a pretty dark, busy year for me, and this was before I really connected to people online that shared similar hobbies with me, and I didn't really have anybody that played games or friends that played games. So having such a game like that I could get lost in, I think did a lot for me. But I don't know if that's, like, we had some Mario tournaments at one time when it was hot. I had Mario tournaments that had 30, 40, 50 people in them at one time.
Wow.
And it was
really?
super fun to see all of those Ghost players playing at the same time and stuff. Like,
wow.
We had it going for a minute, and it was really,
awesome.
really good. And those were super fun. Did you end up playing a lot of original DS games on the system? And do you wish Street Pass was a part of the Nintendo Switch? Which we already answered that. That came from Chris Becker, the Nintendad.
Super.
Yes,
Nintendad.
Thank you. I actually did play some DS games because, what did I say? I never had one. So I wrote down the ones that I did have, and I actually own all of these still except for one. The Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. I got that on DS after it came.
Okay.
Pokemon Heart Gold. I got on DS. Bowser's Inside Story. I got the DS cart for. I got the Tecmo Bowl game, which I have down here because I always wanted a football game, and you can only play that Madden game so much. That Madden game, by the way, is super fun. By the way, if you've never played it, if nobody's ever played it, it's like it runs almost like in slow motion, like because it's like half the frame rate, but it has like Like
What if Coach has played it?
He got it after I told him. There's a 3-on-3 mode that's super fun. It plays like AC/DC music. It's super weird. Like Guns N' Roses music's playing in the background. You're like, what is going on right now? Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass. I never played those. I played them for the first time on 3DS.
For me, it was Harvest Moon games that I missed out on the DS because my sister had the DS and I did not. And I've been actually going back and getting Etrian Odyssey. I'm like starting into the new Etrian Odyssey adventures and stuff, and I'm starting with the DS ones.
My
those are the originals.
Favorite DS game that I played, or at least in terms of playtime, Advance Wars Dual Strike, which I got.
Advance Wars is so good.
I got it for like, I don't know, $8-9 at GameStop, and I played it, and I probably put 25 hours into it.
Love how they still called it Advance Wars, even though it was after the Game Boy Advance.
And then our last one, which is a good one. This comes from Garrett Bland. Games such as Etrian Odyssey and Persona Q took full advantage of the dual screens, the bottom touchscreen on the 3DS. Do these games have any hope to be reiterated on Nintendo Switch without these features being present?
I don't know. I feel like Etrian Odyssey Nexus is the game that just came out. I feel like Etrian Odyssey games are going to be making their move to Switch. I think it's actually already been in talks that they're developing one for Switch. It'd be interesting to see how they do the dual screen because like it is the dungeon crawling in that game it lends itself very well to having two screens. I don't that's a good question. I haven't played Persona Q, and I feel like I definitely need to take advantage of that and get Q and Q2 and definitely play through those because those seem like Karo games. But that's a good question. I'm going to have to think about that because, unless they make something where the Switch Lite is the second screen.
They're not going to be able to do that. They're going to have to do it. You're just going to have to toggle. It's as simple as that. You have to press a menu and go into a menu and do things. Like they did for Mario Maker, right? It's just going to be something like that where they'll have to figure it out. It's not going to be as good. I think there's something to dual screen gaming. I've always said that. I've said it ever since this generation. I don't think I'll ever feel as good playing Wind Waker as I do playing it on Wii U. It's perfect.
I agree.
That's exactly how all Zelda games should come with a second screen option. Maybe they come up with because you remember like in 2010, like the second screen experience was all the rage.
Oh yeah.
Like every press conference was built around. There was Smart Glass for Xbox. Like everybody had an app for that. And I would love to see something like that happen, but I just don't think so. I think people have given up on it. It's too much to support and synchronizing, and I just don't think it's going to be a thing. But can it be done without it? Sure it can. It'll be a menu, a start button, a select thing. It'll be something. A pause, freeze time. There's a radial wheel. UI is constantly evolving. They'll figure it out.
It is.
But it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be as seamless. You're not going to be able to take in that much information at the same time.
Yeah, well, 20 years down the road, we'll have the throwbacks where they do the dual screens again, and it'll be a big deal.
We'll just have a Switch where it comes like a clamshell, and you open it up, it's just two switches. It's like when you see like Slash playing like a double guitar. It'll just be that.
Great.
Yeah, it'll be something like that.
Pitch it right now.
Trademark. That's a verbal contract.
Okay.
TM.
Anyway,
that'll do it. As we say so long to the 3DS, the little system that could. I think it's pretty apparent how much this game means to, or how the system meant to us, this library. And it was great. And if they just called the Wii U the DS home, what a world would it? Because it was the same thing. It was dual screen gaming. It's the same thing. Yeah. So anyway, that'll do it for us. And this week of Nintendo Shack, we'll be back next week. Caroline, you're not going on vacation, are you?
Talk. Heck no.
Right? With Fire Emblem talk. Oh my God, get excited. I'm so excited. I've been so lukewarm on this the entire time because I just wasn't really 100%
I know
into
you were.
it.
You're like, I don't know if I'm going to get it.
Because I wasn't getting any of the buzz that I've Awakening, Fates, I wasn't getting that buzz, and then this review embargo is doing it for me. All the buzz that I could want is out there. And it really is not even just this review embargo. I was posting stuff last week while on vacation of there's so many preview stuff. People were like, let me tell you why you haven't thought about this game yet. So that type of stuff has gotten me really excited. So I can't wait to go get it, see all my little collector stuff, and then actually play the game. Finally play the game.
It's great.
So that'll do it for us, and we will see you next week, Koopalings.